Thank you for tuning in. So today I went to McDonald's and I got something I never had before, and that's a chicken McWrap. So I'm looking forward to trying that. Also got some large fries and a double BLT quarter pounder. I've never had a double before. I love the BLT, but I've never had a double before. So I'm looking forward to trying that. So I'm going to take it. This is a crispy chicken bacon wrap. So far, so good. That's really good. Nice. Linda and I went for Mexican food yesterday. It was really good. It's the same place I got my quesadilla from. I had this big skillet. Just made my own tortillas. Linda had seafood tacos. It was so good. It was a huge meal. It was so big that that was my lunch. I never had any dinner. I didn't have to. Oh yeah. That looks good. Got lots of napkins, good thing. You know, ASMR is kind of a funny thing, you know. Some people like myself love the sound of people chewing and whispering. Yet some people can't stand it. My mom was like that. When we were kids, we'd be eating sunflower seeds. It drove her crazy. She couldn't stand it. And even my partner, Linda, is kind of like that. She doesn't like the sound of chewing. Sometimes in the evening, I'll be sitting there eating peanuts and she'll kind of give me a weird look, you know, like, you have to chew so loud. I think I told you before about the time I was at work in the staff room. And the secretary came in, and she was, there's about 8 of us in there, and she's, and everyone's doing their own thing, you know, looking at their phones, reading. And she's got a book like this and an apple in the other hand. And she's doing her best to be as quiet as possible, right? But yet, I love the sound of her chewing, but yet she was trying not to disturb anybody. But listening to her chew, I could feel my head getting lower and lower like that. I was just starting to nod off. It was so relaxing. And the other day, I went to the dentist for my annual checkup. Every 6 months, I get a cleaning and a checkup. No cavities. Thank you. And my hygienist, lovely woman, very lovely woman, named Sandra, and she talks non-stop, but that's okay because she's interesting, and she talks like, because she's leaning so close, she has to talk kind of in a low voice, almost a whisper, but not quite. But very softly. And I love listening to her because I'm just, like that, with my mouth open. She's working away. Sometimes it's a bit difficult if she asks me a question and I can't answer because, she's into my mouth up to her elbows, right? So it's kind of hard to answer when you got a mouthful of somebody's fists. So anyway, that's very good. But she talks a lot about Netflix. She really likes Netflix. And she asked me if I watched Netflix, and I said, well, Linda and I have watched a few things. We've watched Breaking Bad. I thought Breaking Bad was a masterpiece. I've been hearing about it for years. And we just watched it a couple of years ago, finally. And we would binge watch it. At least 2 episodes a night, sometimes 3. I think one time we watched 4 in a day, like 1 in the afternoon and 3 that night. Then we started watching a series called Grace and Frankie with Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda. And we really enjoyed that. It was very funny. Superb acting. But then, because of COVID, the production got interrupted or something like that, so they had to stop filming for a while. So we got about season 6 halfway through that, so we just picked up on it again last night. Bacon. And then we were watching Better Call Saul. And Better Call Saul, I didn't think it was great. I never did see the last season because I think to see the last season you have to go to Amazon Prime or something like that because it wasn't on Netflix. So I'm not sure what the deal is there, but we just finished watching the other seasons, like all of them. Like in Breaking Bad, Saul was a lot different. He was full of those colorful metaphors all the time, which he wasn't in this series. And the series was good, it was entertaining, but there seemed to be a lot of loose ends, like it sort of jumped around a lot. I liked watching Mike Ehrmantraut, the character, but like one time he's doing something, the next thing he's doing something else, and they seem to go here, then go there, and then seems to be a lot of loose ends, Like the Kettlemans and all their money, what happened with those people? They were at the very beginning, remember? And after a while, Linda and I both agreed that Saul and his girlfriend Kim, their antics got a little bit tiring after a while. Now, a lot of people have recommended Yellowstone. I haven't seen that. But my hygienist, she told me about Ozark. She said, you really got to watch Ozark. This was a while ago, last spring. And she was going on about Jason Bateman. I thought, well, she probably just, likes Jason Bateman. That's the reason she wants me to watch it. But Linda and I watched it, and I really liked it. I thought, oh, so I get one twist after another. Really good. Very well done. It was, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but it was just amazing how the characters all developed and everything, and it was very good. This is good. Crispy chicken bacon wrap. But watching all these Netflix got me thinking about the old days with, VHS tape, VCRs. For about 20 years, a lot of people made a lot of money off the whole videotape rental industry. But as fast as it came in, it went out equally as fast. But the first time I ever saw a videotape machine was when we played on TV. I did a video about that called Look Mom on TV. And this was in an actual TV studio. It was like a big wall unit type thing. And then fast forward a few years to high school. They had a TV studio in the high school. And they had a videotape machine. It was a reel-to-reel like this. Like it was portable, but it was quite big. Black and white. And then around 77, 78, me and 3 other guys are sharing a house. And our rent was $245 a month. Can you imagine that? So anyway, like altogether, that was, that's what we shared. Not each, but $245 for everybody. Cheap. Anyway, so some friends came over, and the one guy said that he had a videotape machine, and they were like having like a movie night. And I thought really, like, I didn't know those things existed for for public use. I was really impressed. Now I can't remember if it was actually a reel-to-reel or a cartridge, but he had bought it, and he was he rented it, and he had movie nights and stuff. I thought that was so bizarre. And then in 1981, when I was taking the chef's training course, about an hour south of where I live, there's this lovely little seaside community. It's just like something out of, the French Riviera. Just a little town on the side of a hill, the ocean, just beautiful. We used to party out there all the time. And so they had a big party this one night, and they said, we're going to rent a VCR and show some movies. And, anybody that wants to sleep overnight is welcome. Because, you don't want to drink and drive and all that, right? I would definitely get that again. I'm impressed. So anyway, that was the first time I've actually seen a VCR with the tape cartridge. I'm assuming it was VHS or Beta, one or the other. So anyway, one of the movies was Alien. And I'd seen that in the movie theater a couple years earlier. And I can't remember the other movies. But I just thought that was like, wow, the future has arrived. Here we are. You just plug in a tape and you watch it. I mean, this morning I wanted to show Linda something on the news. she was having a shower and all that. So when she came in, I just rewound the news, right? You know, the whole PVR thing, all that. It's just amazing that you can do that. You know, back then I thought, wow, this technology is, I guess for its time it was good, you know. The fact that you go rent a movie and all that. So in 1987, my ex-wife, my wife at that time, we had owned a house for a few years. We had one child, and I wanted to buy a VCR because, you know, because we'd rented them a few times. We'd rented one for my 30th birthday, and we decided we wanted to buy one. So I asked all my friends, you know, what should I buy, a Beta or a VHS? Because back then when you went to the video store, you had a choice of Beta or VHS. You could get either one. And for some reason people always said, or I'd heard this, that Beta was actually a superior way of watching videos. I don't know why, I can't remember, but for some reason VHS took the lead. You know, they cornered the market. So anyway, I could be a bit foggy on that, I'm not sure. So I was asking my friends about VCRs, and you know, they told me what to look for, this kind of thing. So I went to the store and I bought my first VCR, $800. That was in 1997. No, sorry, 1987. Yeah, 1987. Yeah, in 1987, I bought my first VCR for $800. You know, just for fun, if you want to Google that in today's dollars, that's a lot of money. I mean, that was a lot of money back then. So it was one day, shortly after that, I'm at my buddy's house, my co-worker Tony. And he had a movie on. And it sounded really good because he had it hooked up to a subwoofer and a stereo. And I was impressed you could do that, so I did that. And I thought, you know, this would sound even better if it were in stereo. So I mentioned that to my wife at that time, and she just kind of rolled her eyes and thought, well, this is good enough. But I managed to convince her. I said stereo would sound so much better. So I took the one that I just bought, I took it back. And exchanged it. So I'll give you a tip. I do this all the time. Whenever you take something back to the store, always be polite and always say, I just bought this here and I'm not happy with it. That's what you need to say, I'm not happy with it. That gets their attention right away. And you being the customer, you're always right if they want to make it right. So I said that, and they were all ears. And I said, I want to exchange it for a stereo. No problem. I did that, came an extra $200. So instead of paying $800 for a mono, I technically paid $1,000 for a stereo. But that VCR was a Sanyo. We had that for a good 15 years, if not longer, and it worked like a charm. It was beautiful. But it was such a big deal every Friday night. We'd go down to the video store and, you know, pick out a movie or two. And it was so exciting, you know. And especially there was like a really, really have to get on the waiting list. And then that phone, you say that movie you want is in. So exciting, go down there and pick it up. I loved going to the video store. The kids and I would just wander back and forth looking at all the, the titles and all that. Pick that up, look at it, pick up that one, Like I said, the video stores, they became extinct as fast as they were born. They lasted, maybe 20 years or so. We had a guy in this town, he was the last holdout on the whole entire island. He was actually on the news, he was just a young fella. He was a real movie buff. I mean, you name a movie, he's not only seen it, he's probably seen it 5 times. When they interviewed him on the news, he was saying that one time he went to a movie in town at the theater, and he was the only one in the movie theater. Must have been a bad movie. But he was the last holdout. But they used to be so exciting renting a movie, so much fun. Great entertainment. And I had my VCR hooked up to my, I had a 100-watt Pioneer, an old Pioneer amp that I bought back in the 70s. I had my Pioneer HPM 100 speakers. Beautiful sounding. Eventually, I got the, later on, I would get a 5.1 system. Now I know they got even bigger ones, but at that time a 5.1 system was pretty cool with the small speaker in the middle and the other one. I had like a whole, I had the subwoofer, the speaker in the middle, and then 4 in front and 2 in the back. It sounded great, just amazing. And of course, DVDs came out and all that. Now you just PVR, Netflix, Amazon Prime, whatever. Last movie I saw at the movie theater was Joker. I saw it twice. I went with Linda. And then my oldest boy was in town from Vancouver. And so him and his brother and myself, we went and saw it, the 3 of us. And the cinema's so nice, like the chairs, they recline, so nice. I enjoyed that movie. Now, I don't even have I do have 2 VCRs, but I don't use them. I barely use my DVD player. The only reason I use that is about 10 years ago, I transferred all my home videos to DVD. I bought a video camera the same year that I bought my, bought the VCR in 87. I bought my video camera in 88 because we used to rent them all the time. The very first video camera I rented, you'll find this amusing. In 1986, our one and only child was 1 year old. We wanted to get some video, so we rented a video camera, and the camera was huge. It rested on your shoulder like that. Then you had a case like a do is just rent the camera. That there's a tape in there, and battery, and everything. And I thought, oh, come on, you know. Went down there, and sure enough, so we rented it. A year later, I bought my own. I bought a Sanyo as well, Super 8. I videotaped everything. Birthday, Christmas, you name it. Halloween, you know, camping trips, boating trips. Funny enough, I was in popular demand. You wouldn't believe how many neighbors would say, do you think that they wouldn't want to ask to borrow my camera, but they say, do you think I could get you to videotape my kid's birthday? I said, sure, I'd love to. And they say, I can pay. I said, oh, don't worry about it, you know. You supply the tape, and I'll do it. I love doing it. You know, I'll get a free piece of birthday cake. Even get to pin the tail on the doggy. Not really, but anyway. I love videotaping. And man, I videotaped for years and years and years. And I'm so glad I did. And when you watch them now, they're kind of grainy compared to, I mean, your cell phone takes cinematic quality pictures, you know. This old video, this camera I had, you know, it's funny, it was a Sanyo, and it was small. It was about this big, but people still marveled at how small it was, because it had everything in there. You just hold it like that, you know, a little strap for your hand. You just go like that, you know. And it took really good pictures, especially in really bright light. Like I got some pictures at the beach, you know, like 30 years ago. And with all that sunlight reflecting on the water and the sand, you know, that's what those cameras really function at best, is with lots of light. Inside, they're kind of grainy. But I'm so glad I took all those pictures, because, you know, when I watch those old videos, and I do quite often, I say, oh, I remember that, you know. I remember that old telephone, the old landline, or you hear the sound of, you go downstairs, the kids are playing a Mario Brothers game, and you hear that tune, you know, that you kind of forgot about, and just different little things, you know, my old 7-Eleven cup I used to drink out of, and not just the sights, but the sounds, you know, different sounds, like the sound of the old phone, or the microwave, or something, you know, or your kids' voices when they were little, you know. Even my dad, I kind of forgot what his voice sounded like, but I can hear it on the videotape, right? But like I said, a few years ago, about 10 years ago, I transferred all my VHS tapes, my home movies, I'll call them, to DVDs. And I wasn't sure how to do that, so I went to Best Buy, and the guy said, well, here's a program, and a little gizmo he gave me. It's called Hones Tech. And you just plug in this little disc, and this wizard walks you through it. And it's easy as pie. You just hook up your VCR to your computer, then your computer to your, no, you hook your VCR up to your computer, and it just, you know, you transfer your discs, then it burns them, right? And I made little covers for them. Man, I got a swag of discs. I figured out one day, if I watched all my home movies continuously, I think I had something like about 80 hours. That's a long time to continuously watching. It'd be like a few days. A little bit more than 3 days. But it's funny because every Friday night we'd have a movie night. And we'd make a big batch of popcorn. Had a big round bowl like that. Make the popcorn. Lots of melted butter in there. And all of us would have scoops. size of one of these. Just scoop in there, just eat it right. Well, this one day, I had the popcorn sitting on the coffee table, getting ready to watch a movie, and we had a cockatiel named Sunny. Sweetest little bird in the world. She loved me. The minute she saw my vehicle pull up in front of the house, she'd go crazy. Well, we put the popcorn down the table, and she swoops down. She wanted to fly a few feet, but she swooped down and landed right in the middle of it. Oh, we were so grossed out. Needless to say, we had to throw it up and start over. But she was a sweet little bird. Yeah, technology is an amazing thing. I like watching good movies. You know what you see nowadays on, like on Netflix and things like that, is as good as anything you see in a movie theater. You know, the acting, the production, the writing, the effects, everything. Very good. That was a lot of food. You know, it's funny, you go to McDonald's. Speaking of technology, you would think with all the technology we have in this world, you would think McDonald's would have a decent intercom system. Or any restaurant for that matter. Excuse me. You know, you think that McDonald's or any other restaurant would have a decent intercom. I had to repeat myself I don't know how many times, and I couldn't quite understand what she was saying. I mean, it just comes out kind of garbled sometimes. And it's right beside a busy road, too. That doesn't help, so. Well, that was good. I would definitely get that wrap again. Those wraps were really good. I was impressed. Like I said, I never had one from McDonald's. I'm not really much of a wrap person that much, you know. But I would definitely, without hesitation, buy them. I would maybe try the ranch one next time because bacon, chicken, and ranch go together very well. You know, I get a lot of suggestions from all my viewers, and I appreciate it very much. I get a lot of help from all you people, and I like it when you're honest with me and you give me some really good criticism. Believe me, I'm not offended by it. You know, if someone says, you know, your audio wasn't all that great last time, I enjoy the criticism because it helps me, and in turn helps me make better videos, you know, or the lighting or whatever. I'm using CapCut right now for editing, and I found that to be a lot easier. My friend John, he's my best friend, his son. I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but his son is on TikTok. And he's very successful on TikTok. And he recommended CapCut. So that's what I use. I found it to be quite easy, you know, to learn. And I go on Google and I ask a few questions on Google and then get the answer I'm looking for. Yeah. For a while after I exported my videos, I couldn't find them. But then I found out how to locate them. So, anyways, my friends, that was a good meal. I'm really full. I'll be having leftover spaghetti tonight. I made some awesome spaghetti the other night. Actually, it was 2 nights ago. I made it 2 nights ago. We picked out with the intentions of having it again last night, but after all that Mexican food, I was so full I couldn't eat my dinner. So I'll have it tonight. But, excuse me. Well, I'm really full. Okay. You take care, guys, and as always, I hope that you're in a good place, and I hope that you're happy and healthy. You know, your health is your wealth. Without your health, everything else doesn't really matter that much, so look after yourself, okay? You take care, my friends.